To find out how you can get final expense life insurance, call 800-429-9096.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with just the crew, Alex Padilla, John Browner, and Jason Lawhead in today, the first day of March Madness. Scott back tomorrow on Friday. We will discuss San Diego State and what happened in the first day of March Madness, excuse me. We are brought to you by a new company, a new sponsor, MedCline. Browner, you ordered your pillow. It should be on its way soon. Mine got here really fast. And by the way, it's a big box, so be ready for it. MedCline, a new sponsor, a new great sponsor, by the way. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, scroll down a little bit, and click on MedCline. It's going to take you to our landing page where you're going to get 20% off your MedCline pillow, whether you need shoulder relief, or if you are like me and you have acid reflux, or if you just want a body pillow. This is great. If you sleep and you have shoulder pain because you're a side sleeper like I am, like Browner is, like Scott is, this pillow, there's a slit on top. And by the way, it's made for your body. So you tell them how tall you are. They send you a pillow specifically for that height. So Browner told him, hey, I'm 6'3". Here's my pillow. Or however tall he is. And then they send you a pillow for that size. And it is a great night of sleep. And it takes a little bit getting used to because it is a larger pillow. But man, Browner, when you get it, you're going to love it, dude.
I hope so. I need to sleep.
It is it's been in this home for a while. It did ruffle a feather or two because of the size of the pillow, but we're good now. And shoulder great.
Ruffle a feather or two. That was a pun that you didn't even know was in there.
Yeah, look at that. And acid reflux, no, don't have that. So all good. Working for me. Go check them out. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Click that MedCline logo, and it takes you directly. Takes you directly to medcline.com/greatfriends. But kaplanandcrew.com, click that MedCline logo. That's all you got to do. Jason, I'll ask you because I already know Browner's answer. Are you watching the World Baseball Classic?
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know. It never really interested me. I'm ready for like the baseball I grew up with, I guess. Yeah. There's just so much, and I don't trigger anybody or make them feel like, there's just so much enough national pride stuff we have to kind of, it's the World Cup, it's the Women's World Cup, it's the Olympics, I just get spun around with dream team, it's just, I don't.
I mean, I like that stuff. I love the
and that's great. Some people
national stuff, and I think in baseball, you don't have that. Obviously, there is the Olympics, but pros don't compete in the Olympics anymore. So I've been to the previous two iterations. I think when was the last one? 2018? Whatever it was. I went to a game at Petco. I think I watched Korea. No, excuse me. Korea versus Mexico, and it was packed Petco Park. Koreans showed up with their thunder sticks. It was just a great vibe. Super into it. I sat right behind the Padres dugout, literally banging the cement when Team US played there. I think they beat Japan in the semifinal. Adam Jones making some crazy over the center field wall catch. I love it. I went to the first one. It was Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez on Team USA. And I went to that.
And that is cool. And that is cool to go take in a game personally, like it would be an exhibition game somewhere if you went to a park. I get that. But to follow it through, to me, I just Internet World Baseball Classic. It's called the Major Leagues. I mean, every country is infiltrated in the Major Leagues.
You already have it.
Yeah, exactly. And
maybe you already have it.
Because
every player from all around the world is in Major League Baseball,
like the NBA,
South.
Yes,
right,
absolutely.
So why is everybody what's the issue with all the best of the best guys participating at the Olympics for the Team USA?
I have always been a huge proponent of letting the college guys play in the Olympics. I never really wanted the pro dudes to play because it's no contest. Now that basketball has really been put in a supersonic speed that the world now can compete at the NBA level, which is great.
Yeah.
But you still are looking at guys who play in the NBA broken up on other teams,
Yeah.
playing with guys who would never be able to play
Right.
with them under any other circumstance. So I don't even find that to be entertaining.
And the only reason
I don't really watch it.
the only reason we went to the NBA really was in '88 when there was still the Soviet Union.
We got cheated.
Well, no, that was '72.
Wasn't it college players then?
We right.
Yes.
But the Soviet Union had been playing with their pros forever, and they weren't, these guys weren't allowed to leave the country. So even though that they had been drafted by NBA teams, they were bound to the Soviet Union. Arvydas Sabonis, all these guys, Kukoc. So what happened was we took the bronze in '88. It was a huge failure because by that time, even we were still beating these pros, right? '84 was an amazing team with Jordan and Bobby Knight at the helm. And then '88, John Thompson and all these great college players took the bronze. And at that point, we were still in the Cold War, and we said enough is enough. We had gotten embarrassed in that Olympics, and by the time '92 rolled around, we had already started, we had already started implementing the Dream Team idea. The Soviet Union broke up in between the '88 and '90 Olympics, and all these countries started becoming independent. Now, they're all very competitive because they all still have great players. Kukoc is Lithuania, and Drazen Petrovic and all these guys. But that's why we assembled the Dream Team, was basically to not have that happen again. And we thought we were embroiled in a Cold War with a country that we had already, been at odds with, and we weren't going to put up with it anymore. So I would like to see him kind of go back to college. I think it's too late. But as far as the World Baseball Classic, if maybe every 8 years or something, they decided, hey, we're going to play a whole baseball season like this. Because baseball just, to me, seems like you need a larger sample size to really enjoy and to be able to compare.
Well, that's what I like about it. I like that it's a one-off. Like, you don't have to have a series.
Yeah.
You go in there. I know in baseball, listen, the
Yeah.
worst team still wins 60 games, right? But
Right.
I think that I like that. But the thing is, and I know we're gonna get into what happened yesterday, but I think is that when you watch games and you see how much it means to the players, like this ain't going anywhere. Like,
No.
even after what happened with Edwin Diaz last night, Edwin Diaz appeared to suffer a very severe knee injury while celebrating, not while pitching and closing out the Dominican Republic, who, by the way, were like favored to win this whole thing because they had a stacked roster. Puerto Rico beats the Dominican Republic, and while celebrating, and by who initiated the celebration? Because Edwin was like, he was just there. He wasn't throwing his glove around like they just won the whole thing. Edwin was there standing. His brother rushed him and started celebrating and jumping. And that's why if you watch after Edwin was carted, literally wheelchaired off the field, his brother was in complete tears because they know how severe it was. I'll play a little bit of it because Fox is being very much crazy with this. You can see, like, that's his brother hugging him, and then boom, he goes off screen, and he gets hurt, and later on he gets wheelchaired off the field. Severe. I'm hearing patellar tendon. I'm hearing ACL. Basically, Edwin Diaz, according to pretty much everybody, is out for the season.
Well,
for the Mets.
Then you might see the end of it one day because of that kind of thing, because contracts will speak, right? If Major League Baseball starts telling guys, if Major League Baseball starts telling guys, guess what? You're only playing baseball. You're from whatever country. We're going to sign you to a contract that gives you more money in your whole life, but you're not going to play in these stupid things and get hurt. And something like this could be a domino. Maybe it won't be, but this is not the Mets are not happy right now.
Of course. And I think that's the discussion I'm willing to have. I don't think this thing is going anywhere. I don't think the players want it to go anywhere. The guy got hurt celebrating, not pitching.
True.
But I will have the argument of the timing of the tournament. Should it happen during spring training? Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's a very tricky thing for me. Obviously, when the Olympics come around for basketball, it's after the season.
Sure.
And that's always been the discussion with players. It's like, how much minutes did you just play making it all the way to the finals? And now you're going to go play even more minutes. So that even then,
the NHL has to take a nice substantial break, though, every 4 years in the Winter Olympics, because they play with NHL hockey players. So there is, but I think, you can.
There's never a right time to do a tournament where you're getting paid millions from another club and you're going to a place that's not paying you. Right. I mean, the World Cup this year literally interrupted every single league for the first time ever because it wasn't in the summer because it was too hot to have it in Qatar. So they had it in the middle of November and December when that's never happened ever. Literally every league in the world had to not only pause,
Right.
but then they had to condense all their schedules for for all of the rest of 2023. So
Well,
teams are playing weekends and weekdays for the rest of the season.
I got you. But let me pose this to you because you are a soccer guy and you're much more into that world, kind of like I am in college basketball against you. But let me ask you, if not for the World Cup, would all of these other leagues really exist and thrive the way they are? Because the World Cup is soccer.
Yeah.
Whereas the World Series is baseball, way before this World Baseball Classic. I mean, so that's the question I'm posing. It's worth soccer and the whole industry and the whole thing to go halt the break, stop the schedule. We got the World Cup coming.
Right.
It's a little different, and I think
it's a little different because of how
I think
old
it carries the sport way more.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's different because of how old it is. You know, it's
right.
I don't even know when I'm looking it up now. 1930 was the first World Cup, and 2006 was the first World Baseball Classic. So
and 18 something was the first World Series, or early 19s. Yeah.
Listen, Browner, I'll let you go because I know you're making faces and you have no poker face. Scott says that all the time. The guy got hurt celebrating. Does that change the entire tournament? No, not for me.
The guy got hurt celebrating. It changes the entire season for the people who pay him checks, being the Mets, who just spent a F ton of money
everywhere
to prepare themselves to be ready because they had this position solidified. The Mets are the number one betting favorite.
$2 million contract in November.
The Mets are the number one betting favorite to win the World Series. I can almost assure you that will now go out of the window because you lost an extremely vital piece to your team playing in something that means nothing to the person who cuts your check. Now, people could say, oh, well, what if he wouldn't have gotten hurt? We can't say that because he did. And to me, this is a meaningless thing that they shouldn't be playing. Now, will it benefit the players? Probably, because some of the NBA players, after playing in the Olympics, they start the season already in shape, geared up, ready to go. So those guys tend to have better seasons. I think this works in reverse for baseball because you're now starting your body a month, 2 months ahead of when you would normally be starting your body for a season that is truly one of the more marathons of sports. So I think that this is a terrible thing. They should not be playing it. It means nothing only to the people who win it and to the people who are actually cutting checks, hundreds of millions of dollars for these guys to be loaned out and playing somewhere else. I think it's dumb. If I were an owner, I wouldn't allow a single player of mine to play in this, and I would be happy to sit down with them and go, will you void out of your contract to go play in this? Because if you get hurt, then your contract's void. They'll all say no, and then boom, all right, have a good afternoon. Enjoy some of that money on vacation. Like, this is dumb.
Yeah, I mean, if you disagree with the entire premise of the tournament, I'm not, nothing's gonna change your mind. But I think this reaction that the World Baseball Classic is now doomed because Edwin Diaz suffered this, and it's now confirmed he tore his patellar tendon. He's out for the season. That's from Jeff Passan. I just looked it up. He's going to need surgery, and he will miss the entire season for the Mets. I don't think that this changes really anything. Will people have pause about it? Will players specifically have pause about it? Maybe. The dude got hurt celebrating. Joe Musgrove.
But that's what that whole sport is. That whole World Baseball Classic, it is nothing but a celebration. These guys celebrate an RBI single. Like it's like they won the World Series. And so when you're the Mets and you're sitting here going, dude, look at all the money we spent, because the most vital position to get us all the way down the road for all these guys to knock in runs and starting pitchers to win games is our closer. That's like saying we're going to spend all of our money in hockey against all the best defensemen, all the best scorers, and get the best goalie we can, and then the goalie goes out and gets hurt by his brother for celebrating a goal in some exhibition game. It's like that's what the closer is. He's your goalie, man. I mean, it's like,
well, here's the good news if you're a Padres fan. Dominican Republic was eliminated. So Juan Soto,
Mhm.
who has been absolutely on fire in both spring and the World Baseball Classic, is coming home. Manny Machado, who started hitting bombs out in Miami, is coming home. And today, Xander Bogaerts was in the lineup for the Padres. Hassan Kim returned to the Padres.
Mhm.
So the only one remaining, and I guess you're crossing your fingers, is Nick Martinez on Team USA. I believe that's the only one remaining. I could be missing. Maybe there is another player that's not of the caliber of name that I just mentioned to you. Oh, Yu Darvish. Duh. Yu Darvish for Japan. So those are the two guys remaining. Soto's back. Machado's back. Bogart's back. Your entire infield is back. Tatis is in the lineup. So, Browner, unless Yu Darvish needs Tommy John because he pitches too well for Japan in the semifinal, or Nick Martinez pitches too well in the semifinal. The other guys are back.
Cool. Good for them.
I just think it's
I
like
just
this is life, man. Like things happen.
right.
Dude,
Okay.
Joe Musgrove
Things.
broke his toe lifting a kettlebell. Should he no longer lift kettlebells for the rest of his
If
life?
I own the team, I'm cool with that because you got hurt earning your money for me. If you got hurt, jumping up and down on the mound for the Dominican Republic or or whoever the hell he was playing for, they don't make me no money, bruh. They don't make me no money. So what's the point of all this? What's the point of it? Okay, the team that wins the World Baseball Classic, are you remembered forever?
Never.
Are people in Japan sitting on the edge of their seat with their fingers like biting their nails watching this?
Yeah.
No.
Nobody's doing on this day. The Dominican Republic beat the Korea by
Right.
2 runs. Nobody's doing.
It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It literally is irrelevant. So
I think you guys clearly
it.
you guys clearly are not watching. It's not irrelevant to the players or the people that are tuning in and being at stadium. This is
The
that
players
simple.
are having fun. They're getting to see some
Right.
countrymen. They get
And it
they
matters
know,
to them.
They know it's a short sample size. It's every 4 or 5 years. They're having a good time. They know it's not.
It's
It's
like
professional.
like-
It's professional AAU baseball. Dudes are getting together with their homies to
Mhm.
play some baseball, to have some fun, and that's it. Why wouldn't they look like they're having fun? Why wouldn't they look like they care?
'Cause they care.
You're basically balling with your boys.
Yeah, because they care. They're representing their country. It means something to them.
And they haven't played competitive baseball since October. No matter how you look at it, whether they're playing with their team or they're not with their team.
Yeah,
it's
like
a
that
little-
discussion. I'll have that
It's a
discussion.
little
I
break
can
from spring training.
I can be completely flexible with
thing.
that discussion. Should the World Baseball Classic happen in November and December? Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay.
Should it not happen in spring training? Sure.
Right.
Like that, I'm not going to fight if they want.
You don't have to be on a team to play for your country. You can be a free agent. You can be in a contract dispute.
Right.
If you're Dominican, you're Dominican. I mean,
Right, and teams
yeah,
allow their
right.
players to go play baseball elsewhere in the winter all the time.
right. Sure.
Tatis goes down Dominican and suited up for the Dominican Republic.
Now, you know what? I probably
I mean,
would
not the
like.
Dominican, so
I
team in the Dominican
probably would
Republic.
like November a World Baseball Classic much more than I would like it now because I'm looking forward to baseball season. But at the end of a World Series, maybe I'm like, ooh, yeah, these guys were hot playing in. You saw a lot of these guys in the playoffs.
Right.
There could be a bunch of guys with 1 month off, but they come right back and have a month long, November. You're really only competing with just, the middle of the season dog days of the NFL regular season and some college football. But baseball fans are baseball fans.
Right. And
True.
like I said, I don't think this is going to change anything for the players. I think players will play in 4 years again. I mean, shoot, Freddie Freeman had a hamstring strain for Canada. The Dodgers called him back immediately. You're like, yeah, you're done. You're not playing over there no more. And he's done. That's it. But players didn't leave because Freddie Freeman got hurt.
Right.
That's not how it works. So I think, Paul George snapped his leg in half in a scrimmage for Team USA.
Mhm.
And the team got even more stacked after that. So I don't think this is going to change the player's mind. If you're not a fan, you're not a fan. I'm not going to try and convince Browner that it matters because if it doesn't
Mhm.
matter to you, it doesn't matter to you. I think that it's exciting. I think this is some of the best baseball to watch on television. It's much better than watching a game in July or August. I'll tell you that much. I mean, it's basically
I'll
a playoff
concede
game.
that.
It's
I'll
basically a
concede that.
playoff game every single night.
I'll
So,
concede that.
anyways, real quick for those of you that do care, and then we'll wrap this segment up. Quarterfinals. Australia versus Cuba. Cuba won that one earlier. They are now in the semifinal. On Saturday, March 18th at 4 o'clock from Miami, Team USA takes on Venezuela. The winner of that will play Cuba. Japan beat Italy this morning. They have advanced to the semifinal. They will take on the winner of Mexico and Puerto Rico. So there you go.
That's the most interesting thing to me is like the World Baseball Classics makes me realize like they play baseball in Italy. Oh, okay. They got a
I don't know if
team?
they do play
They got a
baseball in Italy, but there are Italian players or players of Italian descent that play baseball.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
enough of them because I've
Yeah.
been through Italy. I never saw one baseball field. I saw a lot of soccer
I mean,
fields,
the
basketball courts,
Mexico's
but
best player plays for the Rays, Rosarena, and he's Cuban, but he's has Mexican citizenship, so he plays for Mexico. And yeah, so there's a bunch of that going. I mean, Freddie Freeman, I mean, obviously he has Canada ties, but you kind of assumed he was American, so all that stuff. But anyways, when we come back, John Moran did a sit-down interview with Jalen Rose to talk about his gun waving and his
That's what you're
wallpaper
calling that?
and
That's
his
what you're calling that?
a sit-down interview.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
What am I supposed to call it?
Cover up.
Well, we'll talk about that, and then we'll also, I can completely believe what I saw happen in Houston last night with the Lakers, but that can't happen. That cannot happen anymore if you're the Lakers. When we come back, we'll talk about all that. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, click that MedCline logo to get 20% off your first purchase at MedCline. Shoulder pillow, acid reflux pillow, body pillows, they're all available. 20% off for you guys, the great friends. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, click that MedCline logo, and go buy yours today. Be like me, Browner, and Scott. We're all going to get one. We'll be right back. Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Breaking Down the Madness is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We make it easy.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray Lambert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and find your big fitness energy in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone. Deal in soon. See Home Club for details.
The number one disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need. Service dogs can range anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, $40,000. And for someone getting out of the military that's seeking support and help, having that sort of price tag is daunting. So we really wanted to be able to support the veterans to make sure that they're getting a dog that they need in their life at no charge.
I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us. So I found Shelter the Soldier online, and I reached out, and somebody contacted me within 24 hours. And in the next couple of weeks, I was already in the program meeting dogs.
Your View Community Spotlight is brought to you by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Flood.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that. Most notably, those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
I was injured in a car crash. I had no idea how much my case was worth. I called the Barnes firm.
When a truck hit my son, I had so many questions about his case. I called the Barnes firm. It was the best call I could have made.
Your case is often worth more than insurance offers. Call the Barnes firm to find out what your case could be worth. We will help you get the best result possible.
The Barnes firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary Rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and find your big fitness energy in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone. Deal in soon. See Home Club for details.
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit and has become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Learn about the many health benefits of MedCline pillows, from easing shoulder pain, reflux relief, and just getting a great night of sleep. Watch Your Health only on Your View, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Breaking Down the Madness is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We make it easy.
Welcome back. This This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with Just the Crew today. Myself, John Browner, Jason Lawhead, all in with you guys today. And Scott will be back tomorrow. Day 1 of March Madness fully underway. Day 3 of the Brown Facts Hot Take Bracket. Browner, have you been keeping up with the results that are coming through so far?
No, I already told you. I'm waiting to the last day. I'm trying to tilt the votes.
So, Jay, you have not had the chance to chime in on the Brown Facts bracket. Have you taken a look at the Brown Facts Hot Take bracket?
I have taken a look at some of these. How some of these teams made it, I don't know, but
okay.
Well, first of all, let's start off by telling him last year's winner turned out to be a true sports fact.
So the one voted on. So for context, Browner said this before any snap was played, so shout out to him. Russell Wilson is the 4th best quarterback in the AFC West. So when the Broncos traded for him, he said that. He stuck with that, proven to be right. But the listeners, the great friends, said, no, that's the worst take of the year.
Wow. So he really, he's really beaming after that.
Yes,
yes, he is.
Because not only was he right, the whole group said you're out of your mind.
And
Pretty
look at
much.
me now.
Pretty much. So this year, to answer your question, how the top 6 team were determined, Jason, we have a listener named Joe Rigby.
Sure if you met love Joe Rigby. Joe
Rigby takes meticulous notes for every show.
Gotcha.
And every week on Friday,
he's like the official score of the Kaplan and Crew.
He's the consigliere.
Okay, yeah.
When you open the books, he's got the books.
Gotcha.
So he every Friday sends me an email with an Excel sheet, a spreadsheet of that week's hot takes.
Great.
And now that we got closer to March, he sent me a top 75, I believe, takes. So he went through them all. So I went through thousands of lines that he sent me.
Okay.
And then I went through 75 of his best ones. I pretty much took all of the ones from his top 75. I think I got like 1 or 2 that weren't on there, maybe. And then the hardest part for me is to determine the rankings.
Sure.
I don't want to go do I want to go food take versus food take in the first round? Do I want to go sport take or do I want to mix it all up? Do I want to say this is the absolute worst, or do I just go by what do I think is the worst? So I think
you did great looking at this bracket because you did break up those kind of things and maybe have those meet later on in the tournament.
I figured if I put food versus food and sport versus sport, we're going to end up with food versus sport at the end. And I didn't want that. I wanted the worst take to be voted on.
Gotcha.
So I mixed them up early and let people decide.
So can I give you my bracket or what do
you
want?
I'm going to put it on screen.
Great.
I want you to vote. I want you to vote with the great friends because if you haven't yet, please go to kaplanandcrew.com and right there you will see the Browner hot take bracket on our homepage. So if you haven't yet voted, please go do so. Jason, these are the results as of now, but you can go in there and vote yourself if you haven't yet.
Okay.
So number 1, McDonald's is better than In-N-Out is currently winning 86% over. You should always wear socks to bed.
Wow. I'm a you should always wear socks to bed.
You think that's worse than McDonald's is better than In-N-Out?
Wait,
no, he likes that.
No, I think
you're
that's
voting
better.
for the worst
I would never call McDonald's better than In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Not even maybe their coffee.
Okay.
And breakfast, obviously, if you had to go that route, but the traditional what they're doing and what they're selling, burgers, not even close.
Right. Okay, so I want to clarify that if you are
this
new
is a
to
blowout
this show,
to me.
Yes, if you're
this one's
new
like
to
a
this
116 match.
I never even thought about that, Browner. People, you're voting for the worst take, not the better take. You're voting for the worst take.
Oh,
so
I am voting for the worst take.
Yeah, so you vote for the one that you think is more egregious.
Oh, the worst take is McDonald's. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Right. So
McDonald's
if there's
is
any
the worst
confusion
take.
out there for those listening on radio, audio podcast, or if you're watching, you're voting for the most egregious one of the two.
Perfect. So I am with the 86% then.
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Yes,
Okay.
That's a terrible take.
Number 2, Joe Musgrove is average, is winning 82% over Apple Maps is the best app available.
Now, that's like an 8-9 matchup. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say the Joe Musgrove is the worst take of those.
So
man.
for those voting, Browner has said he doesn't mind if that one wins because he was already proven wrong. He said that early on in the season when I think Joe was like 6-0 and we were pining for him to get paid.
Gotcha.
And Joe, he just kept saying Joe's average, Joe's average. He called him average Joe.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think that's
so he's even turned on his own take.
Yes.
Yeah, I got
some of these have proven to be correct or wrong already. So number 14, currently with the upset, there's no need to go swimming ever at 54% over. The Chargers will win the 2022 Super Bowl because of Khalil Mack. That was at 4. I think that's our tightest race right now.
Say that one again. Which one is that?
So number 14,
Gotcha.
there's no need to go swimming ever, or the Chargers will win the 2022 Super Bowl because of Khalil Mack. So the Super Bowl where the Chargers,
right? Well, obviously
the Chiefs just won that.
Yeah, obviously
and Khalil Mack.
That's a terrible take. But so is there's no reason to go swimming ever.
Why would you ever go swimming? Why?
Why would you ever go cool off, a little exercise, enjoy,
jog?
Jay, what are you voting for?
Swimming works out muscles that you don't even know you have. Well, I have to go with the Chargers. The Chargers just because it's Khalil Mack. All right.
There's no reason
That's
to go
cool.
swimming.
All right, this is one
That's
of my
getting knocked off down the road.
Number 4 is my personal favorite, and I think one of the worst takes he's ever said. Chess players and F1 drivers are the same. They are not athletes. That is winning 67% over the pictures on the walls of the pyramids were the first ever movies.
That's a fact, by the way.
Chess players and F1 drivers are the same. They are not athletes.
They're not. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
You made Jason cry. I don't know which one made him cry, though.
No, the when he just slips in after the movies. That's a fact, by the way. When the first movies, that's a fact, by the way. I gotta say, the worst take is the chess player and the driver.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's bad, dude. I was telling these guys I got to go on a pace car this weekend up in Nevada. In a Corvette, dude. A car that we can buy on the streets like ourselves. And I was exhausted after like 4 laps. I was like, get me out of this car.
And how fast do those cars top off at?
I was topping off at like 125 and hitting corners at 80. But these
Yeah.
F1 drivers are topping off like at 215. Hitting corners at like 150.
Okay, so they're hitting corners at 150. Meanwhile,
they're pulling 5 Gs, dude. They're pulling 5 Gs.
Just in an instant. And meanwhile, a chess player gets how much time after the other guy clicks the thing? How much time did they get to look?
Mental gymnastics is the same, man.
Listen,
all right,
man, y'all tripping right now.
Number
really
5. This is a close one too. I think this is very close. This is a good one, by the way. This is a 5-12 upset. I've designed it this way because I think both of these are very, very good hot takes. Number 5, NFL Red Zone is not a good channel.
It's not.
And number 12, Jason, if you don't throw things on the field, you're not a real fan.
True. Yeah, no passing.
First off, when did he say that one?
You got no passing.
There was the Padres were doing like a ball and bat giveaway for kids. They're giving away little styrofoam balls.
Okay.
Not styrofoam, whatever, like little balls or whatever. And there was a terrible call against the Padres, and some Padre fans started throwing those balls on the field. And Browner was like, "That's right. That's what real fans do. And if you don't do it, you're not a real fan. You should always throw things on the field." And then we told him, well, "What about basketball? If they throw," he said, "No, not on basketball court, just on a baseball field."
That's
court.
it.
Basketball court
Just on a
great.
baseball field.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's sacred. The basketball court is sacred.
Yeah, that's the
That's
worst
right.
take.
What do you
That's the
vote for?
worst. That's the
12?
worst. Yes, that's the worst. That one is just that's bad.
Yeah, the NFL Red Zone not being a good channel.
That's a great that thing. That has national championship title hopes written all over it. The Red Zone not being a good.
It's a Cinderella right there. That's
and we've really got to make up for last year. Obviously, the Russell Wilson. I mean,
I struggled putting those two takes together, but I was really going for that 12-5 thing. Whereas really the 12 is probably a top 5 seed on its own. But they throw Charleston in there, who went 31-3, that's that might be a good team. We don't know.
Yeah,
So
you never know.
Never know. All right, number 6, Fernando Tatis Jr. will be the Padres' full-time shortstop in 2023. He said this before Xander Bogaerts. He said this after Xander Bogaerts. This is just not going to happen. And number 11, Deshaun Watson. I really messed up here. I should have put the full thing. Deshaun Watson is the third best quarterback in the NFL. Behind, I should have put Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could Watson have a year where he's right there in the top 3? Yes. Could things work out where Tatis becomes the Padres shortstop? Yes. So this matchup is really this matchup kind of reminds me of his Wilson take eventually kind of coming to fruition because both of the things could happen. The Browns have enough players. Browns have enough players around Watson, and he's proven to be good enough to be able to fall into that. We might be saying he's an MVP candidate next year.
What's your
And
vote?
Tatis, I'm going to say of the worst 2 takes, I'm going to say Tatis will be Padres shortstop only because things are pointing to them really committing to Bogaerts, figuring out where Tatis is going to be, and the fact that Deshaun Watson has so much to prove. But I'm still gonna say Watson has a better chance, probably.
So let's fly.
So
let's fly through these next 2.
Yep.
Turkey bacon is not real. That's number 7. Is losing to the refrigerator makes leftovers taste bad. You should leave your leftovers out. That's winning 70%. I mean, Browner wants diarrhea.
Yeah, I hate turkey bacon. Always have.
See?
And there's something to be said about leaving, as long as it's not like a meat or, some type of fish or something. I do leave things that won't like give me food poisoning. I do leave them out. I agree on
he
that.
was specifically talking about chicken.
Well, that's
Yeah.
probably not good. Yeah.
And is this also the day that you walked off the show? You walked off because you didn't heat your chicken up properly?
That wasn't the day, but yes.
Yes.
That did happen.
It did happen. Yeah.
That did happen.
All right. And final one, number 8. This is the funniest one of all time.
Save this one. We need to save this one. I need this.
Ducks and chickens are the same. All birds are the same. Is winning 82% to Nickelback is a good band.
I mean, Nickelback is a good band. It's terrible. I would tell somebody birds aren't real before I would listen to Nickelback. I would go with like the whole birds aren't real conspiracy. So yeah, Nickelback. The other one, I can't remember what I'm doing here. The Nickelback is the word. That could be the word. No, wait.
He's voting for Nickelback.
No.
Oh, so you want to
Nickelback
save ducks and
you're saying
chickens are the
Nickelback
same.
is a good band? They're not. That's one of the worst takes. That's maybe one of the worst takes I've heard.
Look at this photograph. All right, so there you go, Jason. We'll that.
I love it. That was so
open.
much fun, dude. That was so much
Voting
fun.
is open until Sunday night, midnight, and then by Monday we'll have the Elite 8 for next week. I think I'll have it live for another 4 days, and I have it all mapped out already. So Sunday night, you have to go vote. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. You'll see the site of debate right there, mobile, desktop, and just click on it, and you'll see all the debates there. If not, I have tweeted them all. So if you go to Kaplan and Crew's Twitter, they're all there as well. In fact, let me just go retweet it as I talk about it so I don't forget later. So go vote, please. We need as many votes as possible because I really, truly want to get the feel of what the great friends think is the worst take this year. So go do that. Go do that right now while you're watching. Go do that. Yesterday, well, let me just say this real quick. Dr. Max A will be joining us here shortly. This segment is brought to you by Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. I bought my car there at Acura of Penske, of Escondido. Go to PenskeSanDiego.com. Here's what I did. It worked for me. I went online. I saw all of their inventory that they currently have on the lot. That's why I like it. You know what cars they have on the lot right now. You click the kind of car you're looking for. You see all the details about it, the mileage, the price, everything. And then you let them know. You give them a call. I'm looking at this car. I'm looking at this car. Dude, they have both cars that I wanted pulled up at the front, got in, test drove both of them, picked one, ran the numbers, left it in about, 3 hours I was in and out. 2 hours I was in and out. I don't even remember how long it was. Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. What are the Lakers doing? What are the Lakers doing? Yesterday, Lakers lose to the Houston Rockets 114-110. The game was not that close. The game was never that close. The game was never out of the Rockets' hands. They came out, crushed them in the first half. Lakers looked absolutely flat. I'm burying the lead. They looked absolutely flat. No energy, no urgency. Couldn't make a shot. Houston started hot. Anthony Davis did not play. Why did Anthony Davis not play? The Lakers team doctors, who might be the same as the Chargers doctors, the way that everybody's getting injured on the Lakers, have determined that Anthony Davis is not available to play any back-to-backs for the Lakers this year. So Anthony Davis has played the first night of every back-to-back and has not played the second night of every back-to-back that he's been available to play. He has no pain in the foot, none whatsoever, according to everybody, including Anthony Davis. But the plan is he will not play back-to-backs. The Houston Rockets yesterday were tied for the worst record in the NBA today because they beat the Lakers. Now they're now the second worst team in the NBA behind the Detroit Pistons. The Lakers have one more back-to-back. They play the Clippers on the second day of the back-to-back. And I'm telling you right now, Anthony Davis better play in that freaking back-to-back.
And if he doesn't, because he won't?
I feel like last night's loss could cost them eventually. Like the Lakers are currently, I believe, now 10th. It's so tight. That's the only reason I'm saying it. The Lakers are 2 games out of the 6 seed. They're 3 games out of the 5 seed. They're tied right now, the same record as Oklahoma City Thunder, but the Thunder beat them all the time. The Mavericks, they play next, who I believe Luka's back. They're 35-35. The Timberwolves are 35-35. The Golden State Warriors lost to the Clippers last night. They're 36-34. Lakers are only 2 games out of that 6 seed. Every game counts right now. That's why I don't understand. If he's healthy, you play him. Because you and Scott made a good point yesterday, and I tried to fight it, but in my head I was like, it's a very good point. At least play in the first half. See what happens. And if you don't need him, you don't need him.
Right.
Guess what they needed yesterday? Can somebody guard the paint? Mo Bamba's probably out for the year because the team positions at the Lakers suck. LeBron's out for who knows how long. D'Lo missed games. Anthony Davis has missed games. And now Mo Bamba. So you had Wenyen Gabriel guarding the paint, and the Rockets completely destroyed them. And now the Lakers, I mean, it's a tight race. Win or lose, it's a tight race. Loss doesn't help.
I said this last time. I'll repeat this again. It's not that because last time they did this, they won the game. And so people are like, oh, see, they won, so it's not a big deal. Problem is when they don't win these games, they're a huge deal. And then people go look back on this at the end of the season if the Lakers find themselves in 11 instead of 10 and go, see, this game cost them, and then healthy AD sat and watched. Like, when you tell me a guy is pain-free, then why isn't he playing? Because this guy in particular, we know, could get hurt going to the grocery store. Like, there's no real rhyme or reason he gets hurt. He got hurt jumping in the air and got hurt in the air, okay? So I don't really understand this idea that, oh, if we don't play him on the second half of back-to-back stuff, you told me he was on a minutes restriction on these back-to-backs. Again, I could sit with that. I'm okay with that because he's playing. Part of his issue is, I believe, is that he doesn't play enough. He doesn't play through injuries.
That's right.
Part of the season, part of sports, and this is why I commend football players 100%. They will fight through an injury because they know football is playing through injuries. The greatest players in basketball know you have to play through injuries. This is what people talk about the 90s all the time. Oh, then they couldn't play with these kids, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the guys now are more skilled. In the 90s, guys played through injuries because they were hurting each other. So this idea...
You know what else they did, which is to the same point? They practiced hard. They not only did they play almost all 82 games, the Jabbars, the Jordans, these guys, the McKay, they practiced hard in season, off season, and that's another thing that gets you through injuries is being a hard practice player. Guys don't do that anymore.
And I think one of the things that this game is lost within all the money, all these investments, all the new owners, which I don't even understand how the Lakers even caught up in this. All these new owners, these tech people owning teams, all these analytical people getting involved in the sport, they're breaking down human bodies into technology. And they're using these machines and they're using the data to determine whether guys should or shouldn't play. And I just right. And I think that's not what you should be doing. Each body operates different. And so for you guys to be out here, not you two, but for people to be out there allowing people who've never played the sport, to determine whether or not through scientific study, which I get it, through scientific study to predict when a guy shouldn't play because he could get hurt. I think that's bad for the sport.
Well, to be fair to the doctors, they're talking about Anthony Davis.
Again, I agree. You
know what I mean? Like,
this is,
they're not doing it to LeBron when LeBron is healthy, but it's to Anthony Davis.
No, LeBron won't let them do that to him when he's healthy. This is why
Well, Anthony Davis needs to do that too. That's kind of my point. Is Anthony Davis needs to fight more. Anthony Davis needs to not go along with it. Anthony Davis needs to be the leader that the Lakers need him to be. Let's talk about it more when we come back, Browner. And then we're also going to be joined by Dr. Max A. We're going to have highlight of the day. We're going to talk about that stuff when we come right back. We are brought to you by Penske San Diego. Go to PenskeSanDiego.com or always just go to KaplanandCrew.com. All of the logos, all of their sponsors are right there on the homepage for you guys. So check them out, Penske San Diego and KaplanandCrew.com. We'll talk about that more, and we'll be joined by Dr. Max, and we'll get into the highlight of the day next.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit MurrayLampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there it was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
When you're in pain, you need physical therapy that works, but you want to feel safe during these times. At La Mesa Rehab, your health is our business. We screen each patient, provide masks, and constantly sanitize our private individual treatment areas so you can focus on healing. The foundation of our physical therapy is education. Our therapists care and guide you through the healing process. Ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab.
The best care you can have at La Mesa Rehab.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit MurrayLampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit MurrayLampert.com.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that, most notably those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Welcome to the Super Dentists, where kids are the center of our universe. Serving San Diego for over 25 years, the Super Dentists offer the newest dental technologies to provide safe and comfortable treatments for the entire family. We've reimagined the entire dental experience by creating a fun and engaging atmosphere featuring our heroic dentists and award-winning super crew. Book your appointment now. Extended hours and Saturday appointments available. Call or text 855-GO-SUPER or visit thesuperdentist.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.